Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. Hard red winter wheat drought, and that's what's done most of the work for the wheat complex. But first, we'll get into some of the news. India, U.S. had some talks in Washington, and they considered it constructive. So that's a positive sign for the U.S. trade delegation, and doesn't sound like Canada is getting any closer to actually being at the table. Lots of news back and forth on that stuff, that's for sure. China rejects Trump accusing that they intercepted the ship as a gift from China because there's it uh, it had some things on it that were not very nice. Perhaps it came from China. Well, it came from somewhere. Um, World stocks oil on edge as U.S.-Iran deadlock weighs. So it just there's no real end in sight, even though the ceasefire is extended between Lebanon and Israel, but that still hasn't progressed any resolution. That's for sure. Um, Trump's election fraud claims spread distrust before midterms. So if you look at all adults here, you've got half the population, of course, weighted with Republicans versus Democrats, but still 18% of Democrats and independents at 38%, believing that there's non-citizens are voting. Leader of Russia, communist, warns parliament of risk of revolution due to faltering economy. The economy has done quite well considering it's been in war and high interest rates, but it's getting to the point that the people are getting a little uneasy over there. Just a quick look at the weather here. So this is where you're going to see most of the things that are going on here. First, we're going to just show the snow accumulation, and it's not as bad as it was. Like every day, it's showing slightly different amounts of snow. Still looks like Saskatchewan gets covered in most part, except for a very southern area. Manitoba growing region basically goes like this, so it doesn't look like we're going to get a whole lot there either. But still snow. Nonetheless, you can see that snow right there versus rain here. Cold temperatures are still persisting for this upcoming week here. You can see, 30 degrees plus or whatever, or 32 degrees less in the forecast here for sure. So this is where I'm going to start talking about red winter wheat. You can see this, just the soil moisture is got a bit of a channel in here where it's okay, but you've got hard red winter wheat areas is main area is in right where the major drought is and the most efficient drought, and you can see it here too. In this map, it's very significant, and this just subsoil moisture that's considered short to very short. So you got a lot of states here, and then states over here that is quite short in moisture as well. And this is just the change from 1 week to the next. So you've got a significant change of it getting worse, and then you've got moisture getting added into the Iowa, Illinois states there. Just showing where we are right now, and it's as low as it's ever been almost for observed year-to-date precipitation. So 1 week out, you can see that there is going to be some precipitation, but when you look offset with the severity of the drought, I don't think 1 inch of rain is going to be enough, and then it's gone the next 8 to 10 days or 8 to 14 days forward. So you're not going to break that drought. Here's your temperature outlook for the next 3 to 4 weeks, but it looks like there could be some moisture basically for the whole continent of U.S. For the month of May, basically, or first half of May. Quick look at the market here. Canola is up $2.30, sitting at $741.50. November contract is up $2.50 at $738.50. Rapeseed is up $22, and again, I should change that month because that's it's going into expiry and everything is rolling over to the August contract there now. Soybean oil up a third of a cent at 72.02. Palm oil is up as well. Crude oil is up, not at the $100 mark, but at 97.18. The diesel fuel is just shy of the $4 a gallon mark. Soybeans up $2.75 at 11.77. Spring wheat just off a penny or 1 penny, and your hard red winter wheat is just fractionally up, and your Chicago is up 4 cents. Corn is up 1.4 cents, and the Canadian dollar is up at the moment. Just want to highlight this and not to get people mad or anything, but you can see that the crush margins a year ago were just, depending on which month you're looking at, but if you're just looking at old crop they were sitting at about 110 to 114, and what we're looking at right now is 157 to 133 dollar crush margin. And there is a problem with how this is all calculated. We understand it's anywhere from 2 to 4 cents price per pound of soybean oil discount to the soybean oil right now, that's the canola oil discount. And this is the wrong factor too. You probably should be looking at 42 or 43%, and then we're pricing off oil, pricing off meal, and then you're taking away the Canadian canola seed with factors. And we know it's not right, but man, oh man, just how the math is done is just showing exceptional crush margins. So when you look at this, the canola, we've got that decision level that we talked about, and I sent out to a lot of clients as well. So if we were to get to 750 July, we have to wait and see what the market's going to do here. Is it going to blow through it? If it does, we want to hold on to our longs or wait to make some more sales. And if it gets to that and rejects it, there's a good possibility that we should be adding some shorts for the seasonal timeline and make some sales. So it's a decision point for sure. Here on new crop, we're at that line at the moment. We'll have to see if we can break through there. So basically, if we can get above the 740 on that area over there. Here's your new crop rapeseed, and it's basically at that, trying to break out at this point here right now. Soybean oil futures broke out a couple of days ago. Basically been trading sideways after it broke out. Soybean futures here have been just basically going sideways for a month here now, or better. But when you look at the new crop, it's actually trading higher and right at that decision level as well. Here's your crude, 4 or 5 days of up since the no talks to end the war over there. It's keeping that pressure on, that's for sure. Diesel fuel futures still looks like it's green every day this week. Gasoline is trying to break out here as well to make a higher high. So that's not good news for anybody in the world here. We're going the opposite direction with the Canadian dollar, and you can see basically, once we got into the war effort here, it seems like the Canadian dollar basically was trading higher, and this is your crude oil here. NASDAQ is trading higher, so is the S&P. So it's ignoring this whole thing with the war, which seems strange to me. So when we look at wheat, just to highlight it, a few different years where the crop ratings were really low, and you look at it here too. So and it's just naming the states on this this slide deck here. So we've had some low years before, but not with all of those top 5. And then you look at the same years and the yield, how it actually ended up. Not all of them are shy of the trend line, but 3 out of the 6 definitely trended lower than the trend line. Hard red spring wheat, we've got above our decision point there, and now the market's still continuing to rally. Upside target for the July would be another 70 cents higher if the market wanted to trade right to that resistance value. I'm not saying it will, but that's the next point that the market would probably take a stall at, but it could stall anytime before that as well. Here's your new crop, and then you look at your Kansas. This is your other next point of possible resistance. Trend line change making higher high here on your Kansas on the new crop. And here's your Chicago. Here's your break. It hasn't broke out yet, but if and when it does, then we're looking for that higher target level there. Corn, nowhere close to breaking out, but it's been green for almost 2 weeks. Nice up